Good evening, Source Nation, and welcome to SRN Live Television. I am your host, Steve Manderson of Sports Tuesday. Hope everybody had a great day today. Hope everybody had a great week last week and a great weekend. Now, the show is sponsored by Zulina Health, Wellness, and Fitness, Paper to Film Productions, Revolution Mills, Renovations, Meet My Types Matchmaking, Blend to Blend Juice Bar Boutique, Urban Grandstand Digital, and New Covenant of Praise Worship Center. Okay. We have a great show tonight. A lot of things going on. The NBA free agency has arrived, has come about, and I'll talk to you about that. And Major League Baseball heating up, leading up to the All Star game, which will be in Washington, D.C., July 17th. I'll talk to you about that, who's leading in the vote getting, and I'll go over some mid season since we are halfway through the season. Going to talk about some mid-season awards, and as comprised by sports writer Joel Sherman of the New York Post. Uh, Certain names, certain players I agree with, certain other players I don't, but I'll go over that as well. And at 7 o'clock, my featured guest tonight is Bill Gavette, author of the book "Do You Work in Baseball? Do You Want to Work in Baseball?" And basically, it's about what it takes to work in the front office of a major league team and the steps you would have to go through, and talk about some of the people that have made it and done well in the front office and even as managers, and where they started from the beginning to work their way up the uh, might as well say corporate ladder. Okay, so that's in the second hour. My featured guest is Bill Gavette. He was a player, a scout, and now front office. He was in front office executive, and he's doing some great things as a baseball and business consultant. And I'll talk to you about that as well. So, right now, I want to talk about what's going on in the NBA free agency, which started over the weekend. And, well, I'll get right to it. The biggest free agent signing right now is LeBron James is now going to be starting this upcoming season. He will be playing in a LA Laker uniform. Um, he made a decision to play for Magic Johnson, 4-year deal, worth 154 million. Now, a lot of people were saying, well, he'll probably go to Houston, which I said, no, that that would not work. And then you had some people that said, in fact, one guy literally pointing a finger in my face and saying, "Man, LeBron is going to Philly," and I'm like, "Dude, you don't know that, you know? He's going to Philly, man. I know it." Boy, was he wrong, and I let him have it. Okay. Um, two reasons. Well, I'll give you reasons why it didn't make sense for LeBron to go to either Philly or Houston. Number one, those two teams have the kind of have the players that will win and make playoffs. Uh, LeBron is 33 years old. Okay, him going to Philly would not make sense. This is a young, up and coming team that will had a great year this past year. Went to the playoffs. Went to the second round. Okay, they are forming. They've got a nice nucleus going. Joel Embiid at center had a great year, an All-Star year. Ben Simmons at the point had an excellent year, coming off of uh, knee major knee surgery, tearing his ACL the year before. He missed his then was would have been his rookie year last year. It wound up being this year his rookie year, first year, and he made a difference in Philly having a losing season the year before and making the playoffs this year, to the point where Ben Simmons was this year's NBA Rookie of the Year and well deserving. He did beat out Donovan Mitchell from Utah, and that was kind of tough. That was tough. But this is a guy that will lead once he learns how to uh, work to shoot more consistently. He's going to be there, and this is what you have the off season, the summer, to work on your game. But you've got those two players. You've got J.J. Redick, who had a great year playing, as the two guard. All right, for LeBron to go to the Sixers would definitely ups ups the word would be upset the chemistry, as we say. And you don't need that. This is a young team that will eventually get better and better each year, and roles are already being defined on that team. So for him to go there would not work. Now, the reason why going to Houston will not work. Number two players, again, that were the catalysts this year in Houston having winning 65 games this year, the best record in the NBA, and was one game away from making it to the NBA Finals. Um, Chris Paul and James Harden was the catalyst for that Rockets team. Okay, you don't need LeBron on that team. First of all, it'll be a lot of problems how many touches James Harden gets. And Harden touches the ball practically every play down the court. Uh, Now, You put LeBron in that mix, there may be some problems. Okay, then you add in Chris Paul, who next thing you know, he may not be getting the ball as often. LeBron's an excellent passer, so probably some of the passes that Paul should be doing, LeBron's doing now. It wouldn't work. It would definitely disrupt the chemistry there. And now to say that with LeBron going to either team, their chances going to NBA Finals looks very good for both teams. But I'm looking at long-term situations for both of these teams, and LeBron was only going to be there for a short while, and really, he has nothing to prove at this point in his career. He's got an amazing 15-year career where out of those 15 years, he's made 9 NBA final appearances, 8 in a row. Not even Jordan could do that. Magic Johnson can't say that. The only ones that could talk about that in that light would be the players from the Boston Celtic era in the 60s, led by the great Bill Russell. That's it. What LeBron has accomplished is totally amazing, which is why I say, you know, you go to teams like Philly and Houston at that stage of your career where you haven't won a damn thing. See the file on one Carmelo Anthony. Okay. I can see him doing that. I mean, right now, he's at Oklahoma City, and in his first year with the Thunder, alongside Westbrook and Paul George, they got eliminated in the first round. All right, so just how good was that trio? Okay, but LeBron, I said all along that LeBron should go to the Lakers. Number one, he's accomplished everything that he's accomplished right now. So going to the Lakers, there's no pressure on him to win a championship there. What he can do by going there is helping a young group of energetic athletic players and help them get better. Players like Kyle Kuzma and Lonzo Ball. I mean, Lonzo Ball definitely needs to learn how to be a leader. And LeBron James is definitely the kind of person that can help mold him and shape him into the kind of player that he has to be in order to succeed in the NBA. Okay. And the other aspect of it, you're working now for Magic Johnson. Okay. Magic, a 5-time NBA champion, a perennial All Star, an Olympic gold medalist, and a Hall of Famer. And on top of all that, he is an excellent businessman with the outside businesses that he has, the movie theaters, Starbucks, the TGIFs, all those different businesses that he has. So LeBron being a businessman himself, it made sense to connect with someone of the magnitude of a Magic Johnson. I mean, I can see right now the endorsement deals that will be going on for the next 4 years. Also, you're going to see the LA Lakers on national TV practically every week, whether it be on TNT, whether it be on ESPN, whether it be Saturday night on ESPN's sister station ABC. You're going to be you're going to see a whole lot of the Lakers. You'll definitely see the Lakers on Christmas Day, something that hasn't happened for them since Kobe Bryant left and retired. Okay, it's an excellent move. And then the other thing I said, the Bush family has always had deep pockets. So financially, they were going to take care of them, and they did. 4 years at 154 million. Okay, those were the reasons why I kept telling people LeBron James should go to LA. Yeah, also one other thing. He lives out there. He has a house out there. You know, a much shorter commute. All right. So, congratulations to him. I'll tell you this much: the teams out in that Western Conference are not too pleased that he just made the Western Conference a little more tougher now that the Lakers will be in the mix. Now, it's no guarantee that the Lakers will go to the finals next year. They stand a good chance now of making the playoffs. Whether they make it to the finals, well, it's just up to the personnel, the quality of the players that they they put together. Okay, they've already added as we speak. They've already added Lance Stevenson, Brooklyn native. He signed a 2-year deal, and Rajon Rondo, as of yesterday, signed a 1-year deal, which means it's going to be tougher for Lonzo Ball to really like now get his starting position because I do not see Rajon Rondo coming off the bench for him. No, no. It's going to be the other way around. So, Lonzo, my advice to you, kid, and please do not take any more advice from your father. You better listen to the veterans and what they tell you. Because right now, people are talking more about Kyle Kuzma in a more positive light than you. Okay. So, uh, Magic already denied your brother, Leangelo. He denied him the opportunity to play with the Lakers in the Summer League this year. So, and you forget the little brother, he stands no chance. So it just is up to you, Lonzo Ball. You're very fortunate right now to have LeBron on this team. Learn from him. You need to learn from a champion. That way, you pretty much have a chance to be somewhat of a champion yourself. Okay. As I said, the Lakers added uh, Lance Stevenson coming over from the Pacers and um, Rajon Rondo. coming over from the Pelicans, who also added Julius Randle from the Lakers as they did not re-sign him. So um, that's how the Lakers are doing it right now. I want to say one thing also before I move on. Uh, I want to talk about Magic Johnson. He made some remarks that really opened my eyes. I was stunned. A few days ago, actually, it was last week, he made statements saying that if he is not able to get elite free agents to the Lakers in a couple of years, he will step down as president of basketball operations for the Lakers. My reaction to that was, are you out of your freaking mind? I says, what makes you think you are Magic Johnson, man? What makes you think you can't get elite free agents to play for you? As I said before, you're a 5-time NBA champion. You're an Olympic gold medalist. You're a perennial all star. You're a Hall of Famer and a tremendous businessman. Who in their right mind would not want to play for you? You're crazy to make a statement like that. Okay? And boy, are you eating your words now? You've got LeBron James, Lance Stevenson, and Rajon Rondo all in a matter of 3 days. Okay, right off the bat. I can't believe you were doubting yourself. I really can't believe you were doubting yourself. Oh my God. It's amazing now how what things that some people will say just blows your mind. Um some of the surprises, number one, Trevor Ariza goes from Houston to the Phoenix Suns, a 1-year deal. I think the money there was about 15 million. I don't know why he's going there. I mean, you had a good thing with playing with Chris Paul and James Harden. I'm like, I don't understand that. All right, you sign a 1-year deal, but you don't even try to go to a playoff contending team. You're going to a team that you can forget it. You're not seeing playoffs uh, for a few more years. So you might, though, in my opinion, you're burying yourself with that organization. Okay. Now the other surprise was DeAndre Jordan. He goes from the Clippers and he signs a 1-year deal with the Dallas Mavericks, who last year were one of the worst teams in the NBA. And I'm like, why did you do that? I didn't understand that move at all either. You know, both Ariza and Jordan, they're signing 1-year deals, but you're going to organizations that have problems winning. Okay, that makes no sense right now, and especially at that stage of their careers, it's not making sense at all. But that's those two, and at least Ariza has a championship ring from his years with the Lakers playing with Kobe. Okay, and he's been successful playing with the Houston Rockets over the last 4 or 5 years. So those were surprise moves there to me. Kevin Durant re-upped with Golden State, no brainer there. Two-year deal, which possibly means one or two more rings. And really, you need to get them done real quick because with LeBron over there with the Lakers now, first off, Golden State's going to see LeBron four times this year instead of the usual two. Okay. So you're going to be seeing more of him as well as the other teams in the Western Conference. So, but good signing, good decision by Durant. You know, um, Derrick Rose, 1 year deal with the Timberwolves, and basically we know all that with that situation. He reunited with Tom Thibodeau last year during midseason. So I guess Tom coached him uh, during those his pretty much best years in the NBA when he played with the Bulls, won an MVP award there and all like that. But with the assorted leg injuries, pretty much the mighty has fallen. A 1 year deal, and it is no more than maybe $2 to $3 million. So it's like wow. But if he performs well, like I said, you never know. There are times there is a thing called making a comeback, and this is no time than better right now. You're with a good nucleus of players. The focus won't be on Derek. Not when you have Carl Anthony Towns. You got Jimmy Butler. Um, so you've got a good core of young players that made the playoffs last year, had a great year, and they can only get better. And where Derrick Rose's experience so far, this would be a good opportunity for him to show some leadership on that team. Even if it's coming off the bench, which I pretty much see that's happening. Okay. Um, the Nets, as I said last week, they got Dwight Howard. I don't know if he's going to stick around. He should. They should try to keep him around at least for 1 year. I know he's a head case, but this guy is a double double, plain and simple. He's a double double, and um, he he could command the middle, and that's what you need. I need a good, solid. He's an excellent rebounder and shot blocker as well. So what they need to do is get rid of Jeremy Lin. I mean, 2 years of non-activity. It is what it is. But that's they got D'Angelo Russell. They re-signed Joe Harris. They got acquired Ed Davis from Portland, a power forward with some size, 6'10", 250. So, they're getting it together slowly but surely. They have nothing to lose and everything to gain at this point. The Knicks, on the other hand, you know what? Let's not talk about them. Okay. Um, other moves. I know there's more, but those were the main moves. The Eastern Conference now has become weaker with now LeBron going over to the West, which gives teams like the Celtics and the Sixers the opportunity to command that conference. I'm not even throwing Toronto in that mix because they've had so many years of trying to get it together, and Last year was their best shot of going to the finals, and they blew it. I mean, blew it bad, getting swept in the second round by a team that should not have been there in that NBA final is in the first place, and that's Cleveland. Okay, but it is what it is. New coach now. Now that Dwayne Casey was fired, he's now coaching Detroit, and at the same time was this year's NBA Coach of the Year. So yeah, but it's going to be a weak conference, more weaker than usual. But as I said, it gives teams like Boston and Philly a chance to command that conference, and hopefully teams that are in desperate need of improvement is the Charlotte Hornets and the Orlando Magic. And I mean, really, those two teams in particular have got to step it up. Definitely have to step it up. And we'll see. Milwaukee will be there. How good they will be this year coming up, we'll see. But it's going to be very interesting. A lot of people are complaining the fact that LeBron goes to the West now. The West got stronger. Let me tell you, free agency. People don't get it. Free agency gives you the right to go to any team you want. Now, in this case, if LeBron went to Golden State, yeah, I can see you complaining. He didn't go to Philly. He didn't go to Houston. Okay, Philly though being in the East, but he didn't go to Houston. He went to LA with the opportunity to help that team get back to the playoffs. But it is people are doing. I don't blame it. They said the same thing about Kevin Durant 2 years ago when he left OKC to go to uh, Golden State. He wanted a ring. And not only did he get one, he got another. Listen, man, and he took less money to do what he had to do. How many players would do that? Okay, I'm pretty sure LeBron would have took less money to play for the Lakers, but he just happened to. The Bush family is well loaded, and it's the reason why Magic Johnson played for the same team his entire career. Financially, they took care of him, and they're taking for the next 4 years. LeBron is going to be taken care of. I don't blame him. You know, I don't blame him at all. One other note before I move on to baseball. I forgot one person. Paul George decided to go back to the Thunder, and they gave him good. They got him a good deal. I think 4 years at 137 million. Uh, Going back to play with Westbrook and Carmelo Anthony. On paper, that trio looked well. It looked good, but come playoff time, they didn't get it done. Wound up losing in the first round to the Utah Jazz. That definitely had to leave a bad taste in everybody's mouth in that organization, and especially head coach Billy Donovan. Now, you got this same trio back again. I don't know. I don't know. It's not impressing me right now. And I don't have a problem with Westbrook. I don't have a problem with Paul George. I got a major problem with Carmelo Anthony. Okay, all he is reduced to now is a shooter. Okay, he never plays defense. He never gives the ball up. Okay, once the ball is in his hands, it stays there. Okay, he's never in shape. So my thing is, they've asked him, suggested that he comes off the bench this year. He flat out refused, which was not a smart move on his part. But we'll see. I'm not impressed. The fact, as I said, the fact that they got eliminated in the first round by Utah, an up and coming team, um, did not look well. So we'll see. Oh yes, and by the way, Chris Paul sticking with Houston got a nice deal, 177 million. Oh, I forgot the length of the contract, but at his age, he's in his 30s, and he needs to stick with a team right now that has a shot one day of going to the finals. You're playing with Harden, and we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But that's how it is with the NBA. There are going to be more deals going here and there. Then you talk. The summer league started already, so you have an opportunity to check out the rookies and evaluate the talent yourself and see how it goes. And we'll see. So that's what's going on in the NBA right now. As I said, there'll be more signings. There'll be more signings. So turning the attention to baseball. Now, I'll tell you, the All Star game is July 17th in Washington. And I'm going to, let me just check out the who's leading in the ballots. Uh, some names, some names are interesting. Well, let's put it this way: my Yankees are going to be represented. Right now in the American League, Aaron Judge is one of the leaders to start in the outfield, along with Mike Trout and Mookie Betts. Mookie Betts from the Red Sox, Mike Trout from the Angels. At second base right now, rookie Gleyber Torres is in second. He's got 997,000 votes. Not bad. Not bad for a rookie. And let's see. Well, Sanchez was second in the voting at catcher, but he's right now has the groin pull, so he will not be playing, even if they wanted to select him behind the leader Wilson Ramos. So pitching right now, it looks like Luis Severino. It makes sense for him to be the starting pitcher for the American League that night. He has the best record in baseball at 13-2. So we'll see how that goes. In the designated hitter category, Giancarlo Stanton is second, next to JD Martinez. So I'm not even going to. Well, in the National League, well, let's see. In first place right now, Wilmore, as I said, in catcher, Wilson Ramos from the Rays is leading in the catcher spot. Jose Abreu from the White Sox is leading at first base. Second base is Jose Altuve from the Astros. Third base is from the Indians, Jose Ramirez. The shortstop, Manny Machado, from the Orioles. And he's the only bright spot on Orioles team that is just totally awful. And as I said, the three outfield spots right now for the American League: Mookie Betts, Mike Trout, and Aaron Judge. Okay, in the National League, Buster Posey leading in the catcher spot from the Giants. This guy's always leading in that. I mean, he's that good. He's always leading there. Uh, Second is Wilson Contreras from the Cubs. At first base, Freddie Freeman from the Braves. Uh, at second base, Ozzy from the Braves. What is his last name? I can't even pronounce it. Third base, Nolan Arenado from the Rockies. He's pretty much their all-around hitter on an average Rockies team this year, especially in that ballpark. I understand that. At shortstop, Brandon Crawford from the Giants, and your outfield spots right now, Nicky Markakis from the Braves, Matt Kemp from the Dodgers, Brian Hopper from the Nationals. It's amazing. Only one Nationals uh, representative for starting the All Star game, and Harper's not really having a good year this year so far. He's got a lot of issues going on. So that's your leading vote getters from both leagues. As I said, it's going to be the in Washington D.C. Nationals Ballpark, and in July 17th. Thank God they did away with that rule where the league who wins gets to host games 1 and 2 of the World Series. I thought that was very, very idiotic by then Commissioner Bud Selig. That did not make any sense to me. So I'm glad that Commissioner Manfred ruled that out. Let's start making sense with baseball like it should be. Okay. Now, as I said, the we're at the midway point of the season, and Joel Sherman, excellent uh, sports writer for the New York Post, comprised his choices for American and National League MVP, Rookie of the Year, Cy Young Award, and Manager of the Year. Okay. Um, some of his choices I agree with, and then there are some that I'm not too crazy about. But let's give it a shot here. We're gonna start with MVP. We'll start with the American League MVP. He has Mike Trout at this point to be the American League MVP after a half a season. I actually agree with him on that one. And the reason why Trout's numbers are outstanding on a team that is just 500. Okay. And this has been going on for a while now with Trout. He won the MVP 2 years ago on a bad Angels team. All right. But he is a tremendous player. Now, I'm going to run out some stats. Okay. Right now, currently batting 313. Okay. He has 92 hits so far. Okay. And the way he's going, he could have a 200 hit season. Okay. His slugging percentage, 633. Okay. Which is excellent, especially when a lot of times he leads off. Okay. 186 total bases. His on base percentage, 456. And to go along with his 92 hits, he's walked 74 times. Okay. Now, other players rounding out the top five in Joel Sherman's list is Jose Ramirez from the Indians, JD Martinez from the Red Sox, Aaron Judge from the Yankees, okay, and Mookie Betts from the Red Sox. Now, Mookie Betts is having quite a year, so I don't think this decision by Joe Sherman was a runaway. I think this was very tight. Mookie Betts is having a tremendous year, hitting over 300, leading off, okay, and putting up tremendous numbers himself. Okay, but I do agree, Mike Trout right now would be the American League MVP. Now, the National League MVP, he chose Freddie Freeman from the Braves. I there too happen to agree because without Freddie Freeman, be honest with you, I don't see the Braves being in first place like they have been so far. They have had such a tremendous season so far. I didn't see this coming with them. They're leading the National League East by 3.5 games ahead of the Phillies, who's also has had a surprise first half of the season as well. But Freddie Freeman's numbers are awesome. 315 batting average. He has 56 RBIs so far, one of the leaders in the National League. His slugging percentage is 546. His on base percentage is 407. He has 100 hits and 173 total bases. So he pretty much is carrying the Atlanta Braves offensively. Now, the other five that were in the running was Arsenato from the Rockies, who's also having a tremendous year. He's the only one actually doing anything. Lorenzo came from the Brewers, Brandon Crawford from the Giants, okay, and Matt Muncy from the Dodgers. Those were the other candidates. But in my opinion, I agree with Joel Sherman. Freddie Freeman is the MVP. Now, Rookie of the Year for the American League, I agree with Joel when he picks my guy, Gleyber Torres from the Yankees. He's had a tremendous year so far. 15 homers, 42 RBIs as a rookie, and they've got him. Sometimes they have him hit a ninth. They've recently Aaron Boone has moved him up in the lineup. This guy gets hits, plays second base. He has to cut down on the errors though. He's got 10 errors so far, but this guy can hit. The the power, I didn't see that coming. 15 homers. That is excellent. I mean, you're talking about at this pace, you're looking at a 30 plus homer season coming from a rookie, and that's very possible. Um, if he continues to hit and perform like he's doing, yes, at the end of the season, I could see him being the American League Rookie of the Year. And he's got a partner there that plays third base for the Yankees, and Miguel Andujar. He's having a tremendous rookie year himself. He's got about 14 homers. He's got over 40 RBIs. So you never know. They could be that rookie of the year race could be very tight amongst two Yankees. Two players from the same team. That's very, very possible. The National League Rookie of the Year, according to Joel Sherman, he selected Juan Soto from the Nationals. Um, hmm. I may have to go with it. I really haven't really checked out all the other candidates, but this guy here, I've seen him The only thing is, he's only had at this point no more than maybe 140, 142 plate appearances. That's not a lot right now, coming from the first half of the season, but he's been very productive in that short period of time. Um, his OPS is 1.067. Okay. He's walked 23 times and he struck out 26, which, when you think about it, that is not bad for 100, a little over, close to 150 plate appearances. You've only struck out 26 times. That's not bad. That's not bad. I'll give it to him. Um, how he continues at this point on, that remains to be seen on how the Nationals play him. He has to get more plate appearances, in my opinion, for him to qualify for Rookie of the Year for the entire season. Um, but what he's done so far in the first half of the season is not bad. It's not bad numbers at all. So the Cy Young award in the American League, he has Justin Verlander from the Astros. I say my guy, Luis Severino. And I'll compare some numbers. I mean, it's pretty tight. It's not like it's pretty neck and neck when you look at the numbers. But and being that Yankee fan and everything, I mean, it's not that I'm being biased. The guy's got great numbers, man. He's got the best record in the majors at 13-2. Most likely, he's going to start the All Star game for the American League. Okay, Verlander's record is 9-4. Okay, Verlander leads the American League right now in strikeouts with 144. Severino right now has about 137. Okay, but he's had a great season so far, and it's one of the. But he is part of a Astros pitching staff that they have about 3 or 4 of their people on staff that have 9 wins or more. Okay, their problem is their bullpen, but I'm going with Severino. All right. I'm sorry. I got to go with him. And Verlander, you never know how it goes, how the rest of the season goes. This could be a neck and neck decision come toward the end of the season, and especially how both teams finish up the regular season and what kind of Septembers both teams have. So that's will determine. Now uh, the other pitchers in this category, uh, Chris Sale from the Red Sox, who destroyed the Yankees over the weekend, a 2-hit shutout, and Garrett Cole from the Astros, who's having a tremendous year. Okay, so we'll see. That's going to be an interesting race for the Cy Young in the American League. It really is. In the National League, Joel has Max Scherzer from the Nationals, and I have to agree. If it wasn't for Scherzer and his 2.09 ERA, which leads the National League, the Nationals would be a total disaster. They're right now 1 game over 500. That's it. 1 game over. For the first 2 months, they had a losing record. Okay. But they're not playing well. Bryce Harper is not having a good year offensively. And but Matt Scherzer has done well pitching. He has a 10-4 record, and he leads the National League in innings pitched with 114 innings pitched. It's a lot of innings. So he's been a workhorse, but at 10-4, he's done well. He's done well. Well, don't be surprised if Scherzer is the starting pitcher for the National League come July 17th, which would make sense. I mean, after all, the game will be played in Nationals ballpark. So now the final category, the American League and manager and National League manager of the year. For the American League, Joel Sherman selected Kevin Cash from the Tampa Rays, and I have to agree with him. There have been other good candidates, especially Scott Service from Seattle. And Service with Seattle, he's done a great job with the Mariners, especially they started clicking after Robinson Cano got hit with the 80-game suspension for PED use, which that's a story for another day, but we won't get on that. But they are right now in second place behind Houston in the Western Division at 54 and 31. But for Kevin Cash right now, I totally agree as far as him being the manager of the year at this point of this season, because Tampa Bay wasn't even slated to even have a winning season this year. Right now, they are currently at 500 at 42 and 42, but they lost so many people to free agencies and stuff. They don't have Evan Longoria. They've lost Logan Morrison, Steven Sosa, Corey Dickinson. They've lost a whole lot of people, especially on the offensive end, and have still managed to be competitive in the American League East, or being competitive. Period. So I got to give Kevin Cash uh, a lot of credit. I mean, hey, anybody saw the Yankees Tampa series over the weekend? We got swept down in Tampa, and we did not look good offensively doing it. I mean, we got swept badly. So I agree there. Kevin Cash right now, the American League Manager of the Year. In the National League, Joel Sherman selected Dave Roberts of the Dodgers. Yes, the Dodgers got off to a slow start this year, but in all honesty, I would give co manager year one to Craig Counsell of the Brewers. What a great job he has done with the Milwaukee Brewers right now. They've been in first place practically all season right now. And the manager of the Atlanta Braves, Brian Smicker, uh, they have been a surprise of the National League, in my opinion. Um, I would give Cole managed years right now at this time of the season to those two gentlemen. I right now I disagree with the fact that Dave Roberts in Joel Sherman's eyes is the National League Manager of the Year. But like I said, we got a whole second half of the season to go, and judging by some of the the names that have surfaced here, some of them could be true. Mike Trout could be the American League MVP once again. Okay, I'm hoping for my guy Gleyber Torres to be the American League Rookie of the Year. I'm hoping Severino be the American League Cy Young Award winner this year. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. All right. So in the second hour, my interview coming up with Bill Gavett. The book is entitled "Do You Want to Work in baseball. He's my featured guest tonight. Make sure you stick around to check it out. It's going to be great. All right. So it begins right now.